Come with me for tutorial, guys. We've been having lots of tutorials. Today is Tuesday, 1st of April 2024. Happy new month. And we've been having several tutorials because of the exam. I'm having my Maths 101 exam on Friday. By God's grace, we shall do well. And we had tutorial yesterday, morning session and evening session, but I went for both sessions. So yeah, and I'm going for another one, Math 101 again, although I'm late because I was contemplating whether to go or not, but my friend said he saved the seat for me, so I think maybe I could, stand a chance to see what they're teaching, because at some point when you get late, everywhere will be crowded. You won't be able to find somewhere to sit, or even if there's chairs, like it's too back, so you won't be able to see what's on the board. But since there's a space for me, that's why I'm going. So guys, wish me good luck. Bye.
Well, there was a seat for me after all, and luckily I could still see what the tutor was teaching on the board. I think this is not really possible in lecture room 1 and lecture room 2 downstairs, because I feel like it's a bit longer than the rooms upstairs, which are lecture room 3 and lecture room 4. We're actually having the tutorial class at lecture room 4, and after everyone went back to their various places, some at the hostels and some off campus, I went back to the hostel as well to get some snack. But I came back to IJMB block, which is the same venue, because I wanted to have some personal study time to myself, because we're having the exam by the corner. I think it was in just 2 days time, so I had to still revise everything and read the remaining one topic that I haven't studied before. And this is me looking all tired, because we've been having series of lectures since in the morning, and I still came back afterwards. We had just a day left before the math exam, and I had to cover as much together with my roommates, ensure that we are both equally prepared for this exam. And we started off with the manual from page 1, and it felt like a never-ending procedure, because the pages are over 100, and she has been concentrating most of the e-learning videos neglecting the manual, until we figured out that most questions are going to come out from the manual. And at this point, she was kind of tired, because it's really stressful, studying from morning. We actually rounded it off by 4, and that was because I quickly wanted to do my laundry. I don't like doing all those things during exam period, so I had to quickly rush it up together with the hectic schedule I had that day. And this was actually when we were on a little break. So after my laundry, I quickly made brunch, because I hadn't had breakfast since that morning time, and this was to 5. I was about to go shower, so I quickly just had the meal and then quickly went to freshen up. When I freshened up, I called my other friends so we could have a little study time. It was just giving all these heavenly vibes. Although I'm not a Catholic member, but I could just feel it. I think it is Anglican, I'm not sure, but I just felt the vibe, you guys. So this was the moment we're using ChatGPT to ask on the ones we don't know. We're studying on binomial theorem, and the advanced part of it has some complications, so we really asked ChatGPT on the one that we find challenging and all. So this was the whole process. This was by 8 p.m. and my friend came to join us. He's a mathematician, so he is the whole process because he's very good in maths. It It is the D-Day of the Math 101 exam, and guess what? I just figured out that I printed the wrong exam card all along because it's supposed to show list of my courses, and the first one I got signed and stamped didn't. I just thank God that the month signing was around, and this was the whole process. I went and came back as fast as I could. It was at the library because it's CBT based, and this was after the exam. I wrote my exam in 11 minutes of a 35 question math because my system was having issue. My first experience was not good at all, and I had this
Sorry, don't cry,
because
don't
I
cry.
was really feeling bad.
IJMB block.
According to the timetable, our next paper was by 101, which was on Monday. But I decided to study physics 101, which was on Friday, to tell you guys how much I really needed to cover this physics. It's not like I was choosing one course over the other. What I had in mind is that I was going to study for 12 hours, and I was going to break it down 6 hours in the day, 6 hours at night. So the 6 hours a day will go for physics. I forgot to carry along my physics textbook when I was going, so I had to walk back to the hostel to pick that physics textbook up to show how important it really was in the study session. I didn't want to waste that 6 hours, so I just had to risk it under the sun, scorching my skin and all. But everybody kept disturbing. Let me not just say everybody, but just some people. I think they were the postgraduates students that wanted to write their exams, so they were just using all the venues available for their exams. So I had to keep moving from one location to the other, and this is me heading towards the Adamu Complex Hall. I was just looking for any free place I could just read because I was timing myself. I needed to cover that 6 hours at all costs, and all this moving up and down was affecting the time I supposed to use to cover because I needed time to sleep even out of that 12 hours, from the day towards the night. And I was looking everywhere for a free class, but most classes were still being used, as you can see over there. Finally found one. I was like, oh, finally I can use this twin hall, I guess. So I started as fast as I could. I was just trying to cover as much from the syllabus, not knowing that I was still going to come and get asked to exit that same place because the postgraduate students wanted to make use of that hall. Like, they were just making use of everywhere, and it was getting frustrated. I was like, where else am I going to go? This was the only free class, and I was just zooming towards the other side of the hall, thinking maybe that place may be free, but it wasn't. And this was when they were invading my space. It was more like invasion though, and I was feeling sad because it was kind of wasting my time. But what could I do? I had to respectfully leave, as I suppose, because they are elderly and they had to use the place for their exam, so there was nothing I could do, honestly. And this is when I was coming downstairs. Everywhere was obviously choked up, and I'm just giving a view. I was going to head towards that side. That's Faculty of Environmental. People don't usually go there. It's actually like a new building, and the school is still developing, so they've not really constructed the road that's heading towards that place, so everywhere still kind of look a little messy. But the buildings upcoming there are so fine, like the whole design, and I love this white color paint on walls. Like, it gives luxury to me, and everywhere was mostly painted white. Not really white, but like cream colored white. So that's what made me love the place more, even though the road to the place look kind of tacky because they are still developing in that side, because this place is really, really far from other buildings in the school. It's like at the extreme end that I went to, and I'm just giving you guys a quick view. This is Faculty of Environmental Design, a very new building, because when I just came, I wasn't seeing people going towards that place, but towards the end of the semester we started having things there. I was just going there for my reading and TDBs. Honestly, it doesn't really have to do with our faculty. We don't really have any business with that place. And I said my study, it was in a big hall I went to because I feel like the lights there, there's so much space. It was just quiet, lonely, and I could finally have my quiet time. Nobody disturbed me. I got tired at some point, so I was like, boom, let's go check this place out. It's actually industrial design where people do artwork and stuff, but this is actually the ceramic session. He was showing me, what they were using as, should I say, a representation, like a drawing. They were really nice to me, and they were like, "You like it?" I was like, "Yeah, I love what I see it do." And this is like a painting. I don't really recall what session this was, honestly. I feel like it's just painting like mosaic, something like that, but it can't really be painting because the next one was painting. So it's just like all this artwork and stuff. I can't really tell. This was the main painting session. Obviously they were having their assignment. All these were assignment though, and I was just telling him the one I like and all, because he was like, "Why am I videoing it? Is their assignment?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to." So that's why I couldn't video as much, but I saw this clean artwork piece that this young lady was making. Although she knew I was vlogging, but she didn't have a problem with it, and she was really friendly. She was telling me how she was doing it, and I was like, wow, like this was the reference. It was more like a project, I think, so they were asked to do it exactly like that. She got her own material and everything. The material just to make it, more realistic. And look at, like, there's just a little, I don't think there's any difference at all on this. Like, these people are really trying. I was just using all of this to buy time. I was saying I want to read for 6 hours. I still went alone to go and be wasting time to making adventures. Oh my god. And I was moving out at this point. This is the sculpture session. I can't even describe this place. At some point I was like,
what type of plane is this?
I don't want to say what's actually
playing
in my mind, but it was just giving some kind of weird look. But if you pay a little more detail at their works, you'll be like, okay, this is artwork. So I started videoing detailing, like videoing them one by one to really understand what these things are. And some of them I couldn't figure them out till now. They just have their own specific piece of artwork, which is really nice. They were just making use of basic things, some things that you see as trash. They recycle it and then make use of it to, create artwork. And this was like a painting stuff, like a sculpture that he made. So he was, adding water to it to make it stronger. And that was what he was telling me. So I was just trying to feel what that was. And this is the view. They were just using things like leathers, and paper wraps to make some creative things. And I feel like they sculptured my leg. What do you think? Because the difference is not that much, I guess. It's just that the toenail was bigger. I was moving on to the next part, which was they were actually doing like some wooden assignment sculpture, but I was first looking at the environment. It was just giving all this Nollywood village vibes. What shape? Wow. This is nice. But the good work. Okay. That's all. Tidying. Oh, same thing with that man. Wow. Radio guy. Who did you use for this? As we heard, they were having an assignment on sculpting a male torso, and I just interviewed only 2 students that I saw doing the assignment. I was like, let me me finish from this amebo and go and continue with business, Jerry. At least I cooled off my head a bit. But I was feeling hungry, and luckily I don't come unprepared. So I was having lunch at this point. I was just trying to hasten up so I could get back to work. And I saw this creature. It's not really butterfly, but I was like, oh, this looks cute. Well, I was kind of tired. You know, one thing with studying is how when you go on break, you tend to come back tired, but I still regenerated energy. And this was towards the evening, and I was still on this. I was just, all these things are just like revision from secondary school basically, but you still have to study them because you know, you don't know how maybe they may twist the questions. And this was around 8 p.m. My friend was just walking around and he bumped into me. It was a coincidence, and then he was like, okay, let's continue the studying together. So he was just showing me some things like that, and we're now like learning together. I actually told him that we're going to go for TDB later, but that will be in another video, not to make this my vlog like really long. So he's very good in physics basically. I also love physics, but let me not say he's better off, but I can actually say that because he's really good in physics, and he gave me this question that I should work on it.
What are the answers?
Can't you read?
You're getting some.
As usual, I just tried my best and I did it. It is actually a question that I haven't seen before, although I have finished all the questions concerning that topic when I was reading for JAM, but that specific one, I haven't seen it before. So after we solved it, and of course I got it right, we're heading off to, you know, retire back to the hostel so we can come back later in the night for the TDB section. Thanks so much for watching this vlog. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Love you so much. Bye.